Now, dear students, we will try to understand the IO functions of the Arduino microcontroller. IO functions basically is the input and output functions of the pin. For that, the first thing we need to do is that we have to specify the pin mode. It means that that particular pin should be either as input or either as output. And after studying that, we will try to understand the functions that are used to read and write values to the IO pins. So in the first step, where we specify the pin mode, for doing that we actually use the function with the name pinMode, and in this function the first argument is the pin number, while the second argument is the value of the pin. Either you want to either it should be let's say we can say the direction. The pinMode function has two arguments. The first one is the pin number and the second one is the direction. Either you want to use as input or as output. After specifying the pin mode, we will use the functions digitalRead, and then we will specify the pin number, from where we have to fetch the value of the pin on that pin. And if we want the microcontroller to give 5 volt or 0 volt onto any pin of the microcontroller, then we have the function that is digitalWrite function, and in this we will pass one argument that is the pin number on which we want to write some value. So these are the three functions that are used to control the IO of the microcontroller. So let me just comment this. Now you can see on the right side in the simulation panel, I have used Arduino UNO microcontroller and have added a push button along with LED. So the pin that is used with the push button, actually we want to read the state of the push button. So for that we have used the pin number 7, that will actually tell the microcontroller that either that pin is high or low. And if you want to turn on the LED, then we have to write on to the pin number 12 value of high to turn it on and a value 0 to turn it off. So the first step, I have told you that the first step is we have to specify the pin mode. So we will use the function pin mode, and in the pin mode the first argument is the pin number. So for button we have used, for push button we have used pin number 7, and we will give it the pin direction of input. So pin number 7 is now configured as input, which means this pin will read the value the 0 or the 5 volt, whatever the value is present on this pin will be able to read that value. On the pin number 12 we will specify this as output, because we are going to write on this pin a 0 value or a high value. So over here we have specified the in the setup the pin modes. In the loop, let's say I am going to write a value of high on pin number 12. I am going to write high, and let's save this. And when I run the simulation, you will see that the red LED is turned on. Similarly, let me stop this, and let's say if I am going to read the value on pin number 7, digitalRead will read the value of the pin number 7. Now the next thing is I will store that value in some digit. Let's say I say state, whatever the value digital read will be stored in an integer state. For that we have to also declare the variable over here equal to 0. Let's initialize the variable, and now at the place of high I am going to pass the value of state. So over here what will happen, that the digital read will read the value of pin number 7 and will store that in variable state, and in digital write whatever the value we have received on the from the pin number 7 will be passed on to the LED, and if the button is pressed, then the LED will turn on, and if button is not pressed, the LED will turn off. So let's run the simulation, and you can see that now LED is off. Let's say if I press this button, you can see that I have pressed and hold the button and the LED is on. When I unpress the button, you can see that the LED is turned off. So again like this, if the button is pressed, LED is on. If button is not pressed, the LED will be off. So in this way we configure, first of all configure the IO functions, like we specify the pin mode, and after that we are then able to read and write any value or any value from that particular pin. So hopefully you have understood the IO functions.